Welcome back, everybody. Monday is Labor Day. This weekend, many of us will be enjoying the last long weekend of the summer. But apart from knowing it's a holiday, how many of us will stop to think of what it stands for or how it got started? This afternoon, I went looking for some answers. I knew Labor Day had always been about workers, loggers, fishermen, paper workers, and all other workers. And I knew it was about parades, like this one in Grand Falls, Windsor. They celebrate Labor Day in a big way there, and have been for decades. So I decided to ask someone from Grand Falls, Windsor, if he knew how it all got started. Reg Anstey also happens to be president of the Newfoundland and Labrador Federation of Labor. So, Mr. Anstey, how did Labor Day get started in the first place?
Well, believe it or not, it happened in 1872 in Toronto. There was a printers' revolt, and it was all over a 54-hour week. In Canada at the time, it was illegal to be a trade unionist and have work stoppages. So the government jailed the leaders of the printers' union. And that led to a parade, a demonstration of 10,000 people. Sir John A. Macdonald got involved. They repealed the laws. They freed the demonstrators and the trade union leaders. And on the anniversary of that, they decided to have another parade to celebrate the victory. And that happened several years in a row. And then about 1882, the government decided that we should have Labor Day. They've been persuaded by the labor leaders of the day. And it became the first Monday in September. And then somebody from the New York labor movement happened to be in Toronto, saw all this going on, thought it was a good idea. They started doing it in New York, so now it's the first Monday of September in North America.
What about other countries of the world? Does everybody celebrate Labor Day?
Most of the developed world does, but it's a little different. May 1st is the big day internationally. You go over into Europe and a lot of other countries, May 1st is Labor Day. You go down into other countries like Australia, New Zealand, it's a different day. They celebrate the winning of the 8-hour day down under. And so it's different jurisdictions, but the two major ones are North America, which is the first Monday of September, and May Day, which is the major one in perhaps most of the rest of the world.
Now, we all look upon Labor Day as being the last weekend of the summer, and it's a time when we have a lot of fun and so forth, but I wonder how many of us actually stop to think about what Labor Day and the Labor Day weekend really stands for. Do you think it's as relevant today as it used to be?
I accept most people go off and enjoy the weekend. It is the last long weekend of the summer. And that's okay too, because the labor movement really was responsible for people having weekends in the first place, for the 40-hour week, for the 8-hour day, for all those things that people enjoy. So I think most people understand that that's where it all came from. And there's enough like Labor Day messages and so on. I think most people do understand. I think it's just as relevant today as it ever was. I really do.
Now, if there's one place in all of Newfoundland and Labrador where Labor Day is really relevant, it's Grand Falls, Windsor. Seems to be a very strong labor movement in that area. I understand you're being honored by them this weekend.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I've been named as the patron of the Labor Day celebrations, and Labor Day in Grand Falls is really special. For me, it's my hometown. The honor is really special for me as well as president of the Federation of Labor. Grand Falls is the birthplace of the Federation of Labor. In 1937, it was the founding convention of the Federation of Labor as we know it today. And Phonse Duggan actually was elected as the first president. But in addition to that, the first attempt to put together a Federation of Labor occurred in 1925. And there's a picture of that in the Centennial book put out in Grand Falls last year in their 100th anniversary celebrations. And it shows the people who were trying to put together that first Federation of Labor in 1925. And in the picture is Joey Smallwood and also my grandfather, who was involved in the very first attempt to put together the Federation of Labor. So I'm really delighted now as president of the Federation of Labor to go back to Grand Falls, birthplace of the Federation, and be a patron of the celebration. So it's, for me, terrific. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I wish you a happy Labor Day weekend.
Thanks very much.